Give me your hand. Okay, I'm gonna hold you tight when I say this. Nobody is coming to save you from the tyranny of ageism. Should they? Yes. Should this even have been pushed on you, this fear of getting older, of losing your visual vitality, your essence, your place in the world, your value? No. That should never have happened. And there should be a huge internationally government-funded movement to prevent it. However, I personally don't see that coming on the horizon, and I know that we're all bombarded with images of youth and also images of people who are not actually experiencing youth but wish to look like they are experiencing youth, which can be incredibly uncanny and a little unsettling, even if we don't realise that what we are looking at isn't just the normal aging process, but something a little bit more ultra processed. The way the media landscape has honestly left me feeling about my future aesthetically is incredibly uncertain. Like, what does a 40-year-old look like? Do I look 35? Should I be shocked to have an underbelly of grey hair growing there? Is that normal? Especially because I think we often, and there's nothing wrong with this, have come from a generation above us who were constantly dyeing their hair. I have no concept of what a normal age it is to go grey. And a lot of me and my friends have been comparing notes, like, am I too grey? Is this early? Is this late? I realised that were I not to go looking for it, I would have no exciting, expansive model to look forward to when it comes to how I look. And I'm not trying to say I want to look young forever. I don't want to be attractive to everybody forever, but I do want to have a vessel to walk through the world in that still looks like me, still looks like, to the extent to which this is possible, an artistic expression of what my essence is doing at that moment, for want of a better word, like how my brain is fizzing. Like, I want my outside to look like my inside. And I think that often we're not shown different ways that people are aging as themselves, as an accurate. So what I wanted to do in this video is show you a Pinterest board I have been building to counteract all of those images I have been seeing. And none of those images are bad. None of those people in the media that I've seen who have altered their appearance is necessarily morally wrong. It's just the proportions that I think are a little bit off. So I built myself this Trello board called Old Sensational People. And the only prerequisite for arriving on this board is that, one, you are older than me. Not necessarily calling anybody old, but older than me. And the picture that I found of this person makes me feel excited to age, makes me go, yeah, those are the possibilities of what I could look like, or how I could dress, or just generally the way they have decided to exist in the world makes me excited to exist in the world past 40. And every time I look at this Pinterest board, I grin. And I thought that that was too good to not share with the internet. So without further ado, let's grab a cup of something warm and comforting and just bask in the artistic journey of others and how cool they look. So the first few people on my Pinterest board I'm noticing are all standing in the same way. And I think this is not a very typical pose for what we might have seen like our grandparents or our parents pose like in pictures. But I really love it. This person, I love the color blocking. The colors are deep and vibrant, and I would say mature, but also not faded. I think there's this idea that you are kind of fading into the background as you age, and to embrace really bright colors like this looks absolutely sensational. And I love how mature this kind of arrangement of items looks together. The fact that they're all technically the same color, but a little bit off. And the fact that they are all quite formal fabrics and quite formal cuts, but a little oversized, which I think makes them more playful and relaxed, even though the actual formal elements of the outfit are really well finished. And can we talk about these shoes as well? They're kind of sweet granny shoes, but also in a really great color, and they have this kind of shine to them that makes me feel like they're still formal and like grown up. Again, with this person, it's that stance, it's that playful kind of almost boyish, defiant stance that's really grounded, and it feels like this person is ready to like bundle towards you and greet you or something like that. It's so unreserved and strong. I really like it, and I love like this idea of these kinds of trousers, and you know that I love a stripe, and I think again that's something that I associate with gothy, playful youthfulness / circus wear, and seeing it on an older person in this way that also incorporates some black. They have quite like formal glasses, but they also still have their piercings. Again, something that has subconsciously crossed my mind is like, when should I take my nose ring out? When is too old to have a nose ring? And to see somebody who still has all of those vital style elements that they probably have had since they were in their youth and haven't felt the need to take out, heals something in me. I don't know what it is. I also approve of the combination of the spots and the stripes. Very, very nice. Another hands in pocket stance and this oversized look, but again, it really looks like she could be teaching a fine art class at a very high academic level, but also potentially in the railway children and like wandering the fields, just exploring. She doesn't look like she obeys time. And I think the pop of red is really playful as well. I don't know what it is about this one, but I just really feel like it is a more mature version of my style without giving into all of the boring parts of being mature. Here, I love that she's wearing this quite like stereotypically granny kind of blouse, like the really small floral print, but with these bigger graphic prints as well. And because she's matched the glasses to the shirt underneath the cardigan, it makes it feel really intentional. It's like, you know you did this, you know you did this pattern clashing, and you do know you look amazing. Even though you're pretending like you don't know, and you're just like, oh, where's the camera? Carla Rockmore, if you don't follow Carla Rockmore on YouTube, you really should. She's an incredible designer who has a huge wardrobe of clothes that she likes to style and give you tips on how to style, but she's really, really creative, and I love this clashing of the purple and the red. That's something that I've talked about on this channel before. We love a purple and a red together. These next four are all the same outfit formula. They're chunky, loud, playful shoes, a billowing gathered skirt of some kind, and then a cardigan as the main focus of the top half. This one is Aja Barber, who was the author of Consumed, which is a book that we've talked about on the channel before, and she always looks freaking impeccable. I'm a huge fan of Aja Barber's style. This neon bright orange cardigan, again, has these elements of like granny style, especially with the tight patterns in the knit as well, but having it in a neon color. Oh, and then the really like heavy boots almost gives her this kind of cartoon character feel. I love when people have big shoes. It is kind of how an illustrator would draw somebody, and I think it really balances out an outfit if you have something really strong and statement on the top, and I think it just looks amazing. But all of these, this is one of the examples with the bright orange trainers as well. I think the top half of her outfit looks very professional, and then the bottom half is just like, just joking, I'm fun. This is the kind of denim on denim Canadian tuxedo that I can 100% appreciate. The red sandwich is just impeccable. This one I love, of course, because of the leopard print shoes, even though I don't think even in my future years I will be wearing heeled boots. My ankles can't take it. But I really like the fact that she's wearing a sheer top underneath her shirt. Another thing that I think we think about when we age is that you're not allowed to show skin anymore. And of course you can show skin at any age in any way, but even if you like, it doesn't mean that you don't show skin or you don't show underwear, but maybe you show it in a different way that makes you feel comfortable in a different way and not just taking it off the table completely. So if you zoom in, you can see that she's wearing a sheer top but under this much more kind of formal opaque blouse, and I really like that. I think it just looks sensational. Everyone's doing so well. Something I like most about this outfit, apart from everything else that's going on, it's just incredible, is actually her haircut. Again, another thing that I think about is my hair thinning and greying and how I could style it and still keep the colour but still feel like me, apart from maybe just leaving it how it is. But I think sometimes when your hair gets thinner, it is better to have a shorter hairstyle, but I've never really seen that many shorter hairstyles on women who are like 20 years older than me that I like. But this one, I just love it. I think it is inviting and simple and choppy, and she has a very similar face shape to me. I think a lot of people who have pixie cuts tend to not have this face structure. So I think that's one of the reasons I pinned that one, because I was just like, I just love everything about it, but particularly the hair. When I see people who are older than me taking mirror selfies as well, I think that makes me really happy. The fact that not only am I allowed to age in a fun way, but I'm also allowed to document it and that not be weird. What's interesting about this outfit is that the shoes, the trousers, the belt, the top to a certain extent are all very youthful, are all very almost like Y2K teenage clothes. So not even like people in their 20s or their 30s would wear. Like, they feel like if I just saw them in a charity shop, I'd be like, oh, they might have been the clothes of teenagers. But because there's so many layers, because she's put so much of it together, for some reason it looks so considered and mature, and kind of bookending them in this overshirt that's much more mature in some senses and in a much more muted colour, just kind of wraps all that youthfulness in a kind of bow that's just like, yes, I meant to do this and I like it actually. And then obviously we don't even need to talk about how sensational the glasses are, but like, oh my God. She looks like a dark academia Pinterest board ate a pink highlighter. And that is an aesthetic we should all be envious of. I love this caption. What I wear as a 57-year-old who loves dopamine dressing. I have trousers very similar to this, and I have a yellow top, and I will be wearing them together now because of this picture, and it's just sensational. I love this as well, not only because I think the wide leg trousers and the striped top and the drapey beads, like everything on the bottom layer is very grown up and jewels coded almost, and then everything that she's put to finish the outfit, so the baby pink bomber jacket and then the fluffy bag and the chunky white trainers are all very tweenage core. Like, this is exactly what I wanted to wear when I was 13. Just the combination of those things, I think, is just so fun and, again, intentional. And I think that this idea that if you age, you have to buy clothes that align with that age bracket isn't true, but also that you can play with both. You can just be like, right, I'm gonna really fuck with your heads, and it's almost like pattern matching but taste matching, bringing together both of those kind of playful elements. Kind of Claire's Accessories meets 2010's M&S or something. Now this is the section where we get onto makeup, and I really love this. I wanted to find people who were really playing with makeup rather than using makeup as a way to make somebody look younger or wear makeup potentially how they did in their youth. I think that can go down two different roads. People who are just like, I'm gonna keep playing with makeup, and the aim of this makeup isn't to erase what I already have on my face, but to almost sometimes draw attention to it. I love the way this makeup, it draws attention to the parts of your face that particularly you might be afraid to age. The wrinkles under your eyes, the fact that you're always told to use loads of eye cream, the fact that your lashes thin as you get older, the fact that you sometimes have eyebrows that either just fade away or at least thin out, the fact that all of the makeup is pushing your eye towards noticing all that and making that a feature of the face is just absolutely cool. I love it. I love this one. The idea again that you are the haggard old villain, the old witch in the woods as you get older, and like any aging aesthetic that you should choose is to outweigh that stereotype and maybe pick like pinks and lighter colours and things that make you look more innocent and less imposing, to lean the other way and to go, I will be the villain, I will be using the dark eyeliner and the black lipstick. I think almost looks more balanced as you age, because this light bright white hair and these really big silver earrings almost make the makeup choices look less like a costume and more like a natural style choice. I almost feel like this makeup could have grown out of this person's face. Like, it feels like part of them, but also obviously something they've intentionally had to do. And I just really like the kind of Disney villain who works at Runway kind of look to them. This bright graphic eyeliner, again, is something that wouldn't take very much time. It's not like a huge look, but I think is so unexpected, and following all of the aging advice in every other way, but then doing one thing that's like, got ya. I really like more examples of eye makeup. Again, for some reason in my head, I don't see that many people in real life who are older than me wearing a lot of eye makeup, like especially even if they're big makeup or beauty or like fashion people, they would probably wear lipstick over anything eye like. It's almost like they shy away from using creative eye makeup. So to see that on somebody is great. Again, I love this lavender one too. Vivienne Westwood and her intentionally messy graphic liner, always iconic. This watercolor eye look I really like. I also love this where it looks like she's actually not wearing anything else on her face apart from a lip, and she's just like, and what? Another thing you're supposed to be ashamed of is like your lips wrinkling or your lips getting thinner or older, and I could never look at this picture and think that she looks bad. I think she looks absolutely sensational. So this thing that we should be scared of, when you actually see other people looking like that, you don't initially hate it, you don't have this like visceral reaction. So why would you have that reaction to yourself? Sometimes I look at this and I'm like, why would I be so scared of my lips getting thinner? I actually think that like the bold pink lips look even cooler on her than they do on me now. Some more examples of the eye makeup. A yellow eye makeup, which is really unusual, but I for some reason really like on her. I'm not sure if it would work with me, but on her I'm just like, oh, so good. I had to highlight this couple. We're going back to clothes again now. Do you not want to go and speak to them? Do you not want to be like, I bet you continue to have a really cool life, and I bet you have some amazing stories. They've got these matching clutch bags. I don't know, maybe they've been to an event or something, or maybe they just have matching clutch bags, but either way, it's amazing. And again, taking elements of traditionally like older style. So the shawl going the whole way around, big earrings. He's wearing a very formal suit, but having these more playful elements in it. So like the big print gingham, this amazing necktie. I just think they look so freaking cool. Now, on to some people who are utilizing black in a way that I think looks amazing. Again, the choice to only wear a lip, but to really like lean into the jewellery. Of course, that's something I have been doing my whole life, but I'm excited to do it even more as I age. I think that's something that could be really cool to lean into as a style choice. And again, you're drawing attention to something that potentially you should be ashamed of. Everybody growing up always said like, oh, your hands show your age first, make sure you moisturize your hands because that's where it will give you away, as if it was a secret what year was on my passport. So again, the idea of drawing attention to your hands and being like, yeah, these are my hands. Do you want to take a picture of my veins? I don't care. It's really cool. I love this. Again, the idea that you should cover your arms doesn't seem true here. I think this person looks fucking incredible. But even in my head, with all of the work that I've done and all of the kind of like intellectual knowledge I have about how aging isn't bad, I have sometimes tried on tops and been like, oh, is it time to put my arms away? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it time for my arms to retire from public life? So yeah, I love that one. This is Margaret Atwood in a magazine shoot. So it's obviously not how she walks around with this insanely incredible wig, but I love the energy that she's giving off in this. And again, they've dressed her in this seemingly traditional shirt. It's black, it's neat, it's fancy, but it has this really exaggerated collar that I really love, and the sheer arms that give it this kind of creative twist to something that could be formal. I think it's again this idea that you should dress more formally as you get older, because I guess we dress kids in kids' clothes, and then the further we are from being a kid, the more we should differentiate ourselves from children. Maybe it's the hatred of childhood. Discuss, why are we so scared to be naive? What is so bad about being childlike, as long as you're not exposing the traits of selfishness or being out of touch with your emotions or like too much spontaneity in a way that hurts other people? I get that. But in general, are we afraid of seeming childlike because for some reason we don't think being a child is a good thing, or not having some of the elements of being a child is a good thing? Anyway, don't know how we got onto that. Keep moving. Again, love this one, not only because of the shoes, but also the stance. I rarely get served or see in the wild pictures of people who are older than me posing in a way that feels powerful, that has the stances like that. These three women, I mean, there are no words. I hope that this is the girls' trip of a lifetime, and I hope they had an amazing time, because this is good, because also they're still matching each other. I think there's something so sweet when you're a teenager, although I know it can veer into toxicness at some point, or like trying to fit in with a group, but I think there's something so sweet about how when I was a teenager, we all wanted to match each other. Like that was something that we tried to do, or like we'd want to borrow each other's clothes or match each other's outfits a little bit when we went out. And the fact that these people seem to still be wanting to do that and have this leopard print element and brownness that runs through all of their outfits. It's just, they look like they're a girl band. And I hope that they are. And maybe you'll comment below and be like, actually, that's the famous girl band this. But I love it. Again, with the red glasses, you know I'm a fan of red glasses. Don't know why I'm not wearing them today, but I do have a pair of red glasses and I love them. But also the youthful hairstyle. I've got a few other examples of this, but the idea that you can't have pigtails when you're older. I actually think that pigtails looks amazing with grey hair. In fact, I think those elements of playfulness or hairstyles that you might have had when you were younger really work well as a juxtaposition when you put it against like a really formal coat like this one and really well cut jeans and like really elegant shoes that are clearly very grown up. To have this one unexpected element which is just like pigtails, I adore it. Big earrings, obviously I look forward to expanding my collection of big earrings, but there's nothing like it, is there really? You don't even have to wear any makeup or anything else. You just be like, I'm an old person with white hair and big earrings and everybody thinks you're cool. It's so much, I think that's the thing, like as well, because so many people tone down their style as they get older, I'm wondering if it's actually easier to look cool as you get older because less people are putting in the effort. And it's like easier to be like, wow, you really did something. I kind of hope that isn't the case. I hope we all of our generation grow old to like still have fun with our style. But if we don't, I will be taking advantage of that weakness so I look extra cool at the party, okay? Big fur jacket, can't knock it. These people are all in here for their glasses choices, I'm not gonna lie. In fact, 3 of them I'm just realizing I think are the same person. But these glasses choices are so nice. I think there's also a fear as you get older of putting on weight and trying to do things to slim yourself down or look thinner. And the idea that you pick glasses that intentionally accentuate the shape of your face and make your face look rounder is something that obviously I'm a fan of because I already have these glasses, but these ones, oh man, matching your glasses to your outfit. Oh, I wish I could do this every single day. If I could, I would own these glasses in every single color and do that too, but I just love, oh, I'm actually going to screenshot that one. I'd love those glasses or something like it. That is another thing that I'm trying to look forward to as I age is being able to dye my hair easier. I've always I had pink hair at one point and I had a really great time doing it, but the bleach did ruin my hair for a long time. So the idea that I could one day have white hair or at least lighter grey hair and be able to dye it in colors like this, can't wait. In fact, I'd like to speed up the aging process because that would be sensational. Even just doing the ends like that, I feel like it just looks pretty in a way that doesn't feel like they're trying to be younger, but they're still leaning into that kind of girly element whilst also wearing, especially if you're wearing like more serious clothes, like this person is wearing tiny little polka dot top and stuff that would maybe look a little bit more serious and minimalist, to have it with this little pop of greyish pink. Oh, I mean, need we say more? Another thing I worry about with my head thinning hair is what I'm going to wear on my head. But then I saw this picture and I was like, why am I worrying about that? Obviously, I'll wear one of these. People aging together who look fun, love this. Again, with the matching a little bit. It almost feels like they've dared each other to dress up for meeting for coffee. And then they're kind of like laughing that they both followed through on the dare or something. But then also just like really enjoying themselves and how cool they look. I bet they had like a 10-minute compliment marathon before taking this picture and be like, no, you look good, no, you look good. I feel like they're just really impressed with themselves in a way that's really great. Some color blocking here that I really liked. And again, like not being afraid that your hair might go grey in different ways. I actually think this hair, where it's like really white at the front and then darker towards the back in a way that it doesn't look like it's something that they've done on purpose. I think it looks like something that's occurred naturally. Again, looks really cool. So I don't think I'm starting to not mind which way my hair goes grey. I don't actually know genetically how my hair is going to grey. Like my mum dyed her hair when it started going grey, so none of us know how it went grey or what kind of grey it is underneath there. And I don't think, even if I didn't take after her, I don't think I know how my grandparents' hair greyed. Like, did it go white first? Was it like one streak? Again, I think for a lot of us of this generation who are planning to maybe just naturally let their hair go grey, we don't actually have any blueprint of what's going to happen. So imagining all the different ways you could go grey and finding people that you think look cool look like that, very healing. I've got nothing to really say about this couple. I just kind of want to be them. I think I always talk shit about white shirts and white t-shirts because I just think they have very little place in society versus like how they're lauded as like the ultimate style. statement, but I actually pause all of those reservations for this couple. I think they look absolutely amazing. The blue eyeshadow here, and the fact that it's kind of a metallic reflective one. I don't know what it is about that, but it's just the depth in it. Again, a more playful hairstyle. I love this idea that as you age, you can still have the playful hairstyles and not I'm going to be cutting it short because I think that I prefer my short hair, but if you have long hair, not having to give up on the long hair just because you're aging. And I just feel like I want to print this one out. Every time I feel like, oh no, what if I age soon? I'm going to be like, what if I look like this woman? Well, that's my worst case scenario. She's having a great time. She looks amazing. And even she's got a tattoo on her hand that doesn't look like the newest, but only adds to the vibe, only makes me think I want to know this person more. I have a whole video about how I don't think we should be scared of our tattoos aging, and that's not a reason to not get tattoos. In fact, that's an insane reason not to get a tattoo if you are interested in that. But that concludes my little fangirl rant about how cool I think we're all gonna look in older age, or potentially already look. I hope just sitting down and having a little chat has deprogrammed your brain in some way to not be as afraid of aging, and maybe it might even give you some more possibilities to experiment with your style and lean into it without the prerequisite of your hang-ups that you had in your youth. I think as somebody who likes to start new hobbies, there is something increasingly thrilling about the fact that I have missed the boat of being a young prodigy at something, you know, because I think sometimes people say, oh, that person's amazing, like that painter or that photographer or that musician is amazing, and they're only 17, or, you know, they're like a really successful politician and they're only in their early 30s, like stuff like that. It adds to the prestige of something sometimes, and to know that you are past that age where somebody will go, oh, Lena wrote a really amazing novel, which makes sense because she's 47. Like, there's almost a relief of being like, I can't do that now, so I wonder what I'll do instead. And I think that knowing that you will not meet the beauty ideal and you'll be further away from the beauty ideal the older that you get, like, I think society is not letting up on that. It's almost a relief to be like, well, it's too late for that, I'm not aiming for that, so I wonder what I will do instead. Since that is off the table and not something tempting to reach towards anymore and sacrifice for anymore and beat myself up about not having anymore, I wonder what I can fill that crevice in my mind with instead, and I wonder what I'll come up with and let myself do aesthetically, since meeting that standard is no longer an option, and I've made peace with that. So that's what I think about. I'm no longer going to be a prodigy in any of the disciplines that I love, but I could still become an expert, or at least somebody who's making some kind of use of their toil. And I'm also probably never going to meet the beauty standard. I think I'm actually way too late for that. There was a point in my life where maybe feasibly I could have, and frankly I didn't, and maybe it was never possible anyway. But now I've got another 40 years of cool outfits to pull and silly lipstick to smear across my face, and I honestly can't wait. So I hope you use this as your sign to make a Pinterest board like mine, or just maybe save some pictures on your phone that you find online of people that you're not afraid to turn into. And whenever you get those adverts, you know the adverts, or you see that celebrity, you know the celebrity, and you know that they're the same age as you, but they do not look like the same age as you, and you know that that's no coincidence. No genetics are that strong. I hope that you have something that counteracts that in your head, ready to lean into when those thoughts come. Thank you so much to the Gumption Club. They are a group of people that said, hey Lena, we like it when you make wholesome, useful videos. Could you keep doing that? And I said, yes, I would actually like to make that my life's mission. So they support me on Patreon so I can keep doing that. And in exchange, I give them loads of thank yous. We have an amazing and incredibly active Discord server full of creative, stylish, kind, empathetic, thoughtful people. And I also do a weekly podcast where I talk about all the stuff I'm reading and thinking about, plus lots of other goodies. So if you're interested in that, I'll leave the links to join the Gumption Club below. I will also leave a link to my Pinterest board if you would like to copy my homework and have somewhere to start with your own aging vision board. And I will speak to you in my next video. Frog Snug out.